Good morning. It's Sharon here in Canberra at Glengrove Studio. Today is Thursday, the 19th of March, and it's the fourth day that I've been using Zoom to teach some lessons. Yesterday, I did make the decision that as of Monday next week, I'm going to go to online only. Again, just because I'm teaching from home and I'm going to look after our space here a little more, and I think it'll be a really good way for me to use my energy to just teach in the one mode over the coming weeks while things are a little uncertain. So today, as I mentioned yesterday, I am just going to talk a little bit about self-care and the things that I've noticed over the last 3 days that I need to do just to look after myself and be able to give the best that I have to give to my clients when I'm giving them their singing lessons or voice lessons. So firstly, last night I did manage to get a really good night's sleep. I had about 8 hours. I think I was pretty tired after all the changes I've been trying to engineer and roll out this week. So a good night's sleep really helps, but I'm still feeling pretty sluggish this morning. So I know that just getting through today and transitioning a few more people who are still coming here, selling them on the idea of Zoom and helping them to be ready to go home and try it, I can do one more day. That's good. Enough spoons for one more day. And then tomorrow can be a bit of a catch-up business admin day. I don't teach on Fridays. That's my writing and research day, but I haven't had a chance to write or research much in the last couple of weeks. So again, just a lot of catch-up. Want to make sure students have got resources that they need so that next week, when we're doing everything online, they know what they need to have to hand to help at their end. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about some audio stuff, but today just a couple of self-care tips that I've been picking up. First of all, I think most teachers, and particularly music teachers, maybe even especially singing teachers, since that's who I'm kind of talking to at the moment, we are very empathic people. We read our students. We're not just reading what they're doing with their physical bodies, but what they're thinking and how they're feeling about what they're learning and what they're trying. That means that I've gone from being able to interact with a person face-to-face here in my room, where I have a lot of agency and a lot of ability to suggest and direct people, to them being in their environment where they've got their agency. There needs to be sort of an implicit agreement that they're still receiving from me the kind of direction and advice and guidance that they would hear. But I've really noticed my ability to try to kind of go into the screen and see what's going on with them. Maybe there's a shadow on their face, or there's a shadow in their eyes, even that sometimes I can read in the room, but I'm having a little bit more of a challenge getting used to reading that on screen. I'm sure this is another one of the things I'm going to get used to. But right now, that's just a small challenge that sometimes is leading me to either compromise my body alignment. So I'm noticing that my neck and shoulders have been a bit worse at nighttime lately. Or it's leading me to compromise my voice. So I'm definitely noticing my voice is more tired. So I'm trying to practice just in the same way as I would teach a student if they were learning to use a microphone for the first time, that they don't need to go into the mic, they don't need to change their technique for that microphone. You just bring your good, solid, healthy, sustainable, efficient technique to the mic. So I need to bring my own physical voice and body in its sustainable best to Zoom, to the computer, to this setup. And it's okay for me to just sit back in the chair. I don't need to feel that I'm disengaging from people when I do that. And I don't feel like I have to really overuse my voice. I can just come back to using my regular voice that I would use in the room. If they can't hear that, then we can help them adjust their settings of their microphone level on their end. Speaking of settings, I thought today I would just show you a couple of things that I've chosen in my setup that's working for me at the moment. So I'm going to share my home screen with you, which should be my desktop. Let's just have a look. There it is. So this is the home screen that you get when you first open Zoom. And if I just move it down a little bit where I can see it over here, hang on, let me get my super duper spotlight tool. So where did it go? Oh yeah, that's right. Sometimes the annotate toolbar is exactly where I want to be pointing to things. So I'm just going to move that down out of my way. over here in the top right hand corner of your home screen, there's a little cog wheel. And thanks to the way many programs design themselves to be recognizable pretty quickly, that little cog wheel is one that we often recognize to be about settings. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see that over here on the left hand side, there's a heap of different screens I can look at to make adjustments. So for example, I've got chosen to enter the full screen when starting or joining a meeting. Some of these are the default settings that, that Zoom has set when you first get it. And I've left most of them the way they are. I turned on to show my meeting duration because that's just another cue on the screen of how long the lesson's going for, to save me always having to glance at a clock somewhere else. And I've added Zoom to my menu bar because that just makes it quick for me to find when I'm ready to get going. In video, hello again, it gives you a little preview there of what it is that you're seeing, and there's quite a few things there that you can adjust. I don't think there's anything in particular there. Let me just see. Oh yes, there is one that I changed this week. See right down the bottom under meetings, spotlight my video and speaking. I turned that off. What happens with that is that if I have that on, anytime I speak or even go, yeah, you know, those non-verbal cues that we give, what I see is a flip back to myself. And I actually don't want to see myself when I'm talking. I want to keep watching my clients while I'm talking because I pick up a lot from the way that they listen to me, and it tells me whether they're with me or whether I need to, you know, change what I'm saying or something like that. As you've probably noticed already, I was born with a lot of passion for words and talking. I don't have trouble filling a space with words, and part of my teaching journey has been learning when to just shut up, Sharon, and back off. So I don't want to look at myself while I'm talking, and that's been really good. But I would probably, it might be helpful for a student to actually have that turned on for them, because it's not about, this is a chance where they get comfortable. They can learn to be more comfortable with seeing themselves sing and having that, a little bit of that visual feedback. But that's a good thing to know about if they're really uncomfortable with that and they don't want to look at themselves and they're feeling quite anxious about that. That's one to come in and find under the video section. Audio is also a good one where we can adjust levels. So there's an output volume here. So if I want to make my mic softer or louder for them, I can adjust that. And you can see that, well, hopefully you can see that this input level is picking up what I'm saying right now. And the nice green level is a really good healthy level that it's liking, but I can also adjust to this. So this is the one to come in and adjust and either get them to adjust what they're hearing if they're having trouble hearing me, or I can adjust what I'm putting out there if they're having trouble hearing me. So rather than me trying to put an extra workload on my voice, I'm going to play with those two. Down the bottom here, I've just turned this off, mute microphone when joining a meeting. If you were doing a group meeting with quite a few students, I would probably turn that off, but turn it on, excuse me, so that there's not a lot of noise all at once from everybody else's stuff. But for me, on my level, I need that off when I'm joining. And press and hold the space key to temporarily unmute yourself is useful. Actually, what I've just said there about the meeting thing, it was not correct. That's referring just to what I'm doing with my mic, not with the group's mics. So anyway, I've decided to leave that off because it's one less thing I've got to click on when I join a meeting with somebody. My mic's live, ready to go, no problems. There's a whole bunch of other things down there that I'm not going to talk about today because I just wanted to come into talking about that one with the levels that help me just take a little bit of care with myself. So I think the final, let's close that. Hi again. The final thing that I just want to say is the message that I'm telling myself a lot this week. And it's actually a thought that I had quite a few weeks ago when I was trying to do too much at once. Shock, that's something that I do. And the thought came to me, there is time. There is time for us to get up to speed with this. We don't need all of the answers straight away. There is time for our students to get up to speed with the things that they're figuring out with this. Everyone's going through a fair bit of, it's almost like a culture shock of some sort, really. And a lot of what we'll be doing is just providing that normal human connection with our students, where they get a chance to talk about how they're feeling. We can look at how their voice is sitting in the middle of all of that. And everything else really that we managed to do on here is going to be a bonus for the next few weeks. So there is time. There is. We're going to stay curious. We're going to keep trying things. We're going to be patient, but we're going to persevere. That's where I'm at today. So tomorrow I'll come and hopefully I'm going to brainstorm some of the audio challenges I'm just playing around with, really basic stuff, but stuff that you might be trying to work out as well. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.